What's up my people, my name is Spicy and I am announcing the new milestone goal shortly and the gift that will come with it. Some have suggested either Amazon gift cards or Google Play gift cards, so I am taking recommendations, so feel free to comment down below what you think is a good giveaway gift. Enjoy these 10 IDontWorkHereLady stories I got for you today. Comment a fire if you're having fun and like this video to support me. Congratulations George for the comment of the day. It is always the lanyard. It happened, for real this time. I needed some new shoes, so yesterday I went to the mall with a couple of friends and spent over an hour just trying to decide what store to go into. After I finally found some, they were on sale. I had money left over, so we went to HT to snap up a tank top that I'd seen a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to make sure I fit in it, naturally, so I tried it on, and as soon as I popped back out of the dressing room, some guy that looks like he's probably shopping for his son or daughter turns around and holds up a graphic tee and says, "Excuse me, do you know if you have any more of these?" Ah yes, the imaginary back room. He was not rude, so I just kept walking and said, "I have no clue, but she should," and pointed to the actual employee 5 feet away behind the counter and proceeded to get ridiculously excited that it actually happened. Totally forgot to say it. I was wearing a lanyard with my car keys on it. HD's pretty loose on dress code. I suppose I might fit in, but come on, does anywhere wear booty shorts to work? Never underestimate the lanyard. You could show up at NASA to watch a lunch with a lanyard, and someone will come up to you and demand to know why you are not at mission control doing systems check before the lunch. We shared a hotel room last night. I went to a convention nearby and shared a hotel room with 2 other women that I did not know too well. We are all members of the same fellowship. I paid my share of the room and got dressed for my bus driving job. Dark brown pants and light brown shirt. I walked through the hotel lobby and saw one of the women checking out of the hotel. I am horrible at remembering names, so I go next to her and say, "Hi there." She says hi back, not hardly glancing at me. I stick around a few more minutes and her other roommate arrives and recognizes me. She says, "Hi there." Then the first lady looks at me and finally recognizes me. She said, "I didn't know you were here." I told her I said hi to her. She said she thought I worked at the hotel. The whole thing was silly. I've been in my bus driver uniform in a couple of other places and people thought I'd work right there. As long as you have a uniform or a clipboard with a safety vest, you're clear to go anywhere. But honestly, she probably was not really looking at you. It's not that she thought you worked there, it's that she thought whoever said hi to her was probably an employee. People, including you, ignore a lot of things as background noise. Paying full attention to everything will drive everyone insane. I don't work here, but I do work there. Another lovely story. During the school holidays, I sometimes work for a kids drama club. I do activities for the wee ones. Their shows are adorable. There's a professional theater company in my town, run by people who used to be members of the kids drama club. Quite a lot of their actors are alumni of the kids club. The two are connected, but I do not work for the professional theater company, nor do I work for the venue. Every year, professional company put on a Christmas show. My friends and I buy tickets for a wee night out, and off we go. But the night's going a bit wrong. Dinner did not cook, trains got missed, it's a mad dash. But we make it just in time for curtain up. By the interval, I am absolutely starving. I haven't eaten all day, so I nip outside, buy some junk and stuff my face. As I am standing outside the venue, coat rumpled, hair a mess, food hanging out of my mouth, someone starts speaking to me. "Is that you just having dinner then?" he asked. But I don't click. Yeah, been a crazy day. "So is this show on every night? That must be hard work." I still don't click. "I think it's on till Christmas Eve." I tell him, but I am not sure if that's true. "It's good," he tells me. "They're really funny, and the wee girl has a great voice." I agree, it is funny, and she does have a great voice. I don't really mind the small talk. He seems nice enough. But if I am honest, I'd really rather just finish my dinner and get in, out of the cold. "Any chance you could sneak us in at the end?" he asked. "Sorry?" I ask. "My wee one's loving it," he tells me. "She'd love to meet them." And it clicks. I apologize and I tell him I don't actually work here. I can't get anyone through stage door. He is perfectly polite, but clearly disappointed. "That's a shame." he tells me, "She's really into all that acting stuff. I'd love to ask them how they got started." Now, I can't get them in at stage door, but I can answer this question because I just happen to know how at least 2 of the performers got started. They went to the drama club that I do actually work for. So I ask him if he's heard of Kids Drama Club. He says no, they have not long moved here, so he does not really know the area or what's in it. I tell him that 2 of the actors were members of the kids club. If he thinks his wee one will be interested, I give him the details. He definitely thinks she should be. I scribble down the website and phone number for Kids Drama Club and hand it over. He thanks me, finishes his cigarette, and hurries inside to tell his daughter. I finish my dinner and wonder when I will get to meet her. The time I got fired from Target. This was in 2014 when the amiibo craze was beginning, and so I would score around for any I did not have. Lucky for me, I had a Target at about 40-minute walk away from where I live, so I decided to see if they possibly had any Jigglypuff amiibo, which they did not because here in Canada, I believe it became Walmart exclusive if memory serves me right. Normally, I wear a dress shirt and tie, so many people assume I am the manager, when in reality, I am also a customer. But today, when it came to dressing myself knowing I was going to Target, I, for some reason, in the limitless stupidity that I can hold some days, decide to wear a red t-shirt with some logo on it, and I left in my merry way. When I arrived at Target, I started to head for the electronics on the 2nd floor, where before I could even reach the escalator, some lady, who will now be known as L, decides to tap me on the shoulder. "Hey, do you know where the furniture is?" "Yeah, I think I do." We stood there in silence for a few seconds, while she looked at me like a third arm sprouted from my forehead. She broke the silence. "You think you know? How can an employee not know where it is?" "Ma'am, I don't she interjected. "I don't want your excuses. You're just lazy. And remember, the customer is always right." At this point, I realized I did wear red to Target, and that was on me. But her attitude would not stand, so I decided I will try and mess with her. "Oh, you are so correct. Thanks to patrons like you, I can keep my job here and keep getting those checks for $0. Good, you finally see the error of your ways." I think to myself that this is going nowhere and decide to walk off for my amiibo hunt. "Where do you think you're going?" "Electronics, cause I don't..." "No, you're not. I want to speak to your manager." Luckily, there was a manager who was passing by from some other issue and just heard this lady calling for a manager. "What seems to be the problem here?" "Your employee is being disrespectful and I want him fired right now." The manager looks at me and realizes that I do not, in fact, work here, and I do not even match the dress code. "I'm sorry, but I don't care. I want him fired." The manager looked at me to speak, and I just gave him a slight wink and nod and hope he complied with her wishes. You're fired." The lady started to smirk as if she had won. Cool. I just turned to the lady. "Now piss off." She had a look like I just spat on her dog or something now. As I walked away, I heard her say to the manager, "You would let an employee say something like that to a customer?" "He does not work here, lady." I found a Bowser amiibo and promptly left. Overall, a good day in my books. Oh, sorry. I posted about the moonshiners thinking I was the law before. Got another quick story that just happened. I am about 3 hours into a 4-hour drive to my brother's house when I need to gas up, so I pull into a gas station. I figured I will empty my tank as well, lols, and head inside to use the restroom that is in the back of the building. Once I am done, I figured I will grab an energy drink and a Reese's Fast Break, my absolute vice, to keep me up the rest of the drive. Walking up to the checkout line, a lady and her son are at the front of the store, clearing looming for restrooms in the wrong corridor. I, still in my work polo and khakis, nicely point them to the back of the store. Mom says thanks, then asks, "How much are the knives?" I respond with, "Oh, sorry, I don't work here." She hurriedly says, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Sorry for the assumption," and rushes her son to the restroom. Nothing exciting, but that's really my second experience getting mistaken for a retail employee. Gas station knives, low quality, but good for that sudden I need to stab someone real quick. Well, it happened to me today. It's not very thrilling, but I thought I'd share anyway. It is only like the third time I've ever had it happen, and those were a long time ago. My friend and I stopped at this store where everything is $1. I have never been to this brand of dollar store, so I am not sure if it is a chain or one of a kind. As I am wandering around, I actually thought it would be funny if someone thought I worked there. I was wearing bleach-stained jeans, a pants-spattered t-shirt, and a flannel shirt. Anyway, maybe 10 minutes later, it felt like forever. I am not a fan of shopping. My friend was almost done, so I stayed up toward the front of the store, looking at random things hanging on a display. Next thing I know, the lady next to me asked, "Are you working?" in a thick accent. I just quickly said, "No, I don't work here," and moved away really quick before I burst into laughter. You have now completed the initiation and have become one of us. Congratulations. One of us, one of us, one of us. Wally World. Just a short one that happened last night. My husband and I were at Wally World after dropping our puppy off next door at Mart of Pets for a bath. We figured we could get some holiday stuff done. He was looking at the laptops because he wants a new one when this guy comes up to him. The guy looks at my husband and says, "Do you work here?" My husband just replies with "No" and walks away to come find me. No big deal, just a short interaction. I find it funny because I work in retail, but my husband never has, and he was wearing a dark purple quarter zip sweater and jeans. Nothing like Wally World attire. Sure, I will help you search for an enema. I was attempting to make a quick trip to the store, but when you have a 3-year-old, sometimes that does not happen. I am in a search for cotton balls, looking up and down the health and beauty aisles with no luck. Simultaneously, my 3-year-old had taken the yarn I had in my cart and was making a spider web through all of the holes in the cart. This is when two ladies walk up to me and say, "Do you know where I can find the enemas?" I had not the slightest clue, but because I was searching for cotton balls, I figured I will add that to my search. Nothing too eventful, and there were no crazy exchange of words. With friends like these, who needs enemas? I just went for it. I was at a lovely BD bar in Shoreditch the other day. After work at my own bar, I am wearing a casual shirt and have my tail key on my hip. I am walking around trying to find another seat for one of my friends, when this lady grabs my arm. "Is it alright if we sit here? Can we order some drinks from you here? Or should we go to the bar? Here is fine. Please take a seat in this menu, and someone will be right over to take your order." You actually did a good thing, but I'm not sure it was a good thing. Hey, check out more IDontWorkHereLady stories here, and look at other nice videos I made for people just like you that enjoys Reddit stories. To support what I do here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment such as a fire. My name is Spicy, and I'm out.